Mr. Ramon, it's Holden, and it is Nuke the House. We are going to cover some late steam here, see where the lines are moving. We got to talk about the Jaguars debacle against the Bears as well. We got some injury news. Ramon, boy, what a busy week injury-wise, and seeing some lines move about a point, too. What's the overall thoughts on the board right now, my friend?
Look, you don't need me to come in here, Holden, and tell you where the move is going on right now. I mean, it's in the Indianapolis, Tennessee game. We've actually seen the total move lower despite our perceptions, right? All of us squares out here are like, oh, Flacco's in there. The total should go up. Well, maybe the sharps are a little bit more. Maybe the coaches are a little bit more informed, right? I mean, there's obviously a reason why Richardson, if he was healthy, was going to be in there instead of the consummate backup Joe Flacco. And maybe, maybe to you and I don't know how you feel. I mean, I kind of was thinking we want Flacco in there, of course, but you got to move along to the future. And if this is your man, if he's healthy, he's going to be in there. I just thought it was interesting that Richardson said, I want to be fully healthy before I get in there. He was questionable on the injury report all week, Holden. Everyone's complaining that they pulled the switcheroo. It was plain as day. It said questionable all week. I think the perception was we all thought, and the team gave the impression that he was going to play. But right now, a total down here, 42 and a half, I guess. I guess that's only a half a point lower. So I don't know if it's a market mover, but it's certainly the news right now.
Yeah, the offense looks much better with Flacco in there. Plus, Josh Downs is going to be in. So they've got some
today too.
They got reinforcements coming their way. And Richardson's going to be the emergency quarterback today. So the third string quarterback. I just don't understand why he's not playing this week unless he is the one that said, I don't want to play this week. It wouldn't make sense, though.
No, especially given the run-up and what the team said. But from what I read from some, I think maybe from Adita might have sent something out, or maybe it was maybe it was an indie beat writer said that he may have come back and said he wanted to be fully healthy before he stepped in. I didn't know you could make those kind of calls. I guess if you're the guy getting paid the most money, I guess. But
well, I mean, he practiced all week, and I guess they just want to make sure he doesn't re-injure it. But if he re-injures it, there's a better quarterback on the team, Ramon. It's Flacco.
Yeah. Flacco did take many first-team reps, though, they did say. Yeah. So I don't think he got, I don't think Richardson got all of the work there. But, yeah, no, I mean, we know Flacco looks better. Look, there are times Richardson – I think we're kind of in the camp, especially now that we're seeing some of these young quarterbacks do a little bit better. Mm-hmm. That, when he's been good or when he's been not making mistakes, he's been exciting. He's made some plays. He is one of those guys that you just don't want him to try to make too many plays because that's where he's getting hurt here, obviously, right now. But you were talking about quarterbacks, man, and Holden, you mentioned the Bears, Caleb Williams. Look, everybody better take back what they said in September.
They said what? He was a bad draft pick?
I don't know. I feel like people were certainly had question marks regarding Williams, but look, even with a little bit of a slow start, he did show some moments as well. So pretty impressed by today. What was that? A little 360 spin, throws a touchdown pass, and he's obviously has a little bit of a connection with Cole Kmet.
Man, it was a sweat. I had him at 225.5, Caleb Williams, and he got 226. So that was a massive sweat today. Anyways, Doug Peterson should not be flying home with the team. Actually, I don't even think the team's flying home. They should be staying in England because they got the Patriots next week, right? But this has turned into an utter debacle. More turnovers for Trevor Lawrence. The good news was Evan Engram was back for him, 10 out of 10 targets to catches, 102 yards for him. But there's really nothing good to say about this team right now. And then I wonder if you think this was more about the Bears than the Jaguars, because now Caleb Williams is starting to pick things up. He's got a ways to catch Jaden Daniels for Offensive Rookie of the Year. But, man, getting DeAndre Swift going has really, really helped them.
Opened up for Swift, and we saw Keenan Allen, who's been injured all season pretty much, caught another touchdown pass. what does all good quarterbacks have, Holden? They got a little tight end in their pocket, and if they've got
Yeah.
that with Kmet, you saw the 2 touchdowns were great. The best play was the one where Williams scrambled out to his right and threw a little juke move, and then just threw like about just a little 5 or 10 yard pass to Kmet. He picked up 15 or 20 on a key play and things like that. So no, I think it's more about the Bears here. Everybody, I'm puzzled by the move this week that went towards the Jags, quite frankly, but Bears are moving, mixing a little bit of defense, and now these guys getting healthy a little bit. Bears are a feel-good story right now for sure, and Caleb, look, say what you want. I mean, right now he's proven some people wrong. I don't think everybody was bailing on Caleb necessarily at this point, and yeah, maybe he's maybe afraid to stay in that pocket, but again, they don't protect too well either.
No, it's just been a complete debacle. Bottom line is that. Mason, feel better, buddy. He only got 226, so you didn't get hooked. You got hooked in 3 yards. It is worse getting hooked. I know you're still losing your money, but it's worse getting hooked than it is 3. I'd rather lose by 3.5 yards than a hook, Ramon. That's just me.
The old favor the block. Yeah, no, to spin it on the other end, though, for sure. Paying Lawrence all that money to see him regress right now, week after week. So ATN left the game as well today. So, but Ingram, no doubt, I touted him today, on his return. Despite how up and down his career has been, he really hasn't even. It seems like the games he's in there, him and Lawrence also obviously have that tight end connection for sure. So they're going to need to rely on that right now. There's not much else going on.
Hey, hit the like button if you get a second for us. Help us out. Help yourself out with some mojo. And if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, best time to do it is now. We got live shows behind the paywall, 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock games tonight for Sunday Night Football. We're going to have the first half for free, second half behind the paywall. So like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're watching on X, come on over to YouTube and watch us that way. Let's talk about some of the injuries because there are a lot of them. And we already talked about Richardson being down and Flacco in, but it looked earlier in the week like Pittman wasn't going to play. He came back to practice. He's going to play. Josh Downs is going to play as well. For the Packers, we got Christian Watson active. So all their guys seem to be active. We've got Dobbs coming back. You got Reed, you got Wicks, and now you have Christian Watson in the mix. Joe Mixon is back this week as well. So that's really big. For the Texans, they have missed him. The running game just has
Nico's out,
not
though,
been the same.
Holden. Nico's out for Houston, though. Certainly a big weapon. So, but obviously, they needed that ground game a little bit. Hopefully, Mixon brings that back for them this week.
Yeah, Deontay Johnson's doing fine. Don't worry about him. Next week, Nick Chubb's coming back for the Browns. So that'll be interesting, but that doesn't have anything to do with this week. Tonight, we've got Giants game later. Devin Singletary out, so Tyrone Tracy Jr., my favorite, gets to play. Josh Reynolds is on IR. He's going to miss 4 games, so that's one weapon that Bo Nix has really liked, and it just hasn't worked out. And then James Cook is expected to play on Monday. So again, that's news coming up tomorrow, but this is all pretty big news. And my guy, Roman Wilson, is finally going to find the field for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He'll make his debut. He was injured, missed all the offseason. They said he wasn't ready for game action, and now at least he's got some game action, and it's as simple as that. Oh, Jaylen Warren's back for the Steelers. That's kind of cool. And Devontae Adams might not get traded now. So that's all the injury news I got. Not true because Rashad White's out, and that means Bucky Irving. If you looked at Bucky Irving this week, because his prop shot right up, this kid is probably the most talented back that they have in Tampa.
I don't know. I hope Bucky doesn't have fumbleitis here this week because it feels like he's going to get a little bit of workload for sure if Tampa Bay just plays. Look, you mentioned some of the injuries. Obviously, New Orleans has their own situation going on this week at quarterback with Spencer Rattler in there. Talk about some of these young quarterbacks and, conditioning them to be ready or whatever, bringing them along. Look, Rattler, what was he ever going to be here in the NFL? Was maybe some type of career backup or something like that. I don't see him shaking up the Saints here at this point while sitting in for Carr here. Kamara's going to have, Kamara's a great guy when you got him as a complimentary player, Holden, but it's a little bit different when maybe he might be asked to kind of carry the load a little bit. So Tampa might be moving up here. Big division game, no doubt about it, especially after the Saints could start this season. But Tampa about ready to start throwing some nails in this thing. I know they've gotten a lot of public support, and I'm probably going to like them too. But we'll see. Rattler's going to have a lot to prove there for sure. And the Jets, I hear you were talking about Monday night. Could we see, from what you hear from this new coaching situation, is they like the ball on the ground, Holden, and that's really what the Jets need to do, frankly.
What do you think about Breece Hall props then? Would that be somebody that you'd target? Maybe Braylon Allen? I kind of feel like they're going to go to Hall as much as they can this week because he's their guy. He was their guy coming into the season. And this offense could be totally different than that potato head Nathaniel Hackett, who had no clue what he was doing.
No, that's what they said. Get back to more ground-oriented game. Maybe there was something to all the optics that we saw with Rodgers and Salah. They maybe covered it up between themselves and didn't lead on to anything in the press. But we all saw it. Well, I just thought maybe that was Aaron Rodgers being Aaron Rodgers and not throwing shade. Just, hey, we're doing this. But maybe there was something to all that. Obviously, he went on McAfee's show and said, he wasn't behind this. And I'm sure he's not. Woody's definitely an emotional guy. And, I guess you got to pull the trigger now if you're going to do it at all. You're only going to get probably one shot with Rodgers, it feels like now, Holden.
I didn't see much of a move in the Hall market here as far as late steam goes. He was sitting at 50.5 all day yesterday, or 50 and 51.5 all day yesterday, down to 50.5 at night, and then up to 51.5 today. So it only moved 1 yard. And then you got Braylon Allen again, basically no movement on Braylon Allen, up 1 yard to 31.5. So not too much steam in the player prop side. Let's go talk about steam in the actual NFL action. We've got the Saints and the Bucks. I mean, you talk about a total that's just sitting here. 42.5 really hasn't moved. As far as the side goes, looking at 3.5 right now in favor of the Bucks on the road. Spencer Rattler as the quarterback. So not too much movement here, just a hook in favor of the Bucks at -3.5, Ramon.
Does feel like the books are going to need Spencer Rattler to keep him within that hook here today. They're still willing to hold that hook. Now, Bovada did move to 3 -25 here possibly, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to attract Saints' attention. 2/3 of the tickets are on the Bucks, and it seems like the talking heads are even hotter on the Bucks here. It just can't feel great about the situation. Look, I hope Rattler does well. I mean, we all saw moments of brilliance in his college career, but we also, know what he could be interception prone to. So we'll see in that one. Also, the Raiders come in with Aiden O'Connell today. You were mentioning the Steelers getting healthy a little bit, but Aiden O'Connell's 5-5 in his career. I don't know what you're looking for if you're, I think the Raiders fans deep down here, hanging out with JT the Brick driving around town, Holden, they kind of want O'Connell at least in there. You can't go get somebody else right now. So Uncle Rico to the bench.
Jaylen Warren's back. That'll be interesting. I know Maddie in our Discord has some thoughts on Jaylen Warren today too. Yes, Eric Rosas, what a game that Caleb Williams had today. Let's go look at a couple other ones. And I'm checking out the Cardinals and Packers. And this line has really sunk since Monday, right? So it opened at 49.5, quickly bet down to 48.5, 48. And then I saw 47.5. And now it's just sitting at 46.5, 47.5. And FanDuel again at about, I don't know if this is mountain time or your time, at 8:12, whatever a.m. that was. I'll go Eastern time. It was 47.5, took a big dip down a point. I wonder what's going on there.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, we know we're getting all these. The Packers basically, I think they were just saying clean bill of health. What you alluded to it. And I think that was the exact wording that I saw. So good on them. And I don't know. I'm kind of against the move too here. I mean, I've got a guy like Kyler Murray. He's the king of the back door, certainly. Green Bay's defense has to be a little bit better, I would think, against this Arizona team right now. I'm not down on the Packers necessarily. And you got Love back? Sure. Is he overpaid or whatever? That might be the case, but they do look to be a little bit better than their makeshift situation that they had at quarterback when he was out. So if anything, I think there's some value coming in there with that total dropping, even though it's a high total here. I'm Mr. Under Holden, but I got to think over in that game now, especially with that line move. But I don't know, that's still going. I've been here with you a couple weeks now, and that, that 5.5 spread thing's still out there, 80% so far this season, up near 25 or 30 games here right now. So you can grab about 4, 5, 6 of those things today.
Yeah, you can. Another big line move here with Philadelphia and Cleveland. Let's talk about this because I'm now seeing an 8 on DraftKings. So Sting, I saw it as high as 9.5 earlier in the week. It dropped to 9, dropped to 8.5 last night, and down to 8. Not a lot of people have faith in Nick Sirianni, right? So our guy JC Zargo backing the Browns today at plus 9.5. I don't know about 8, but Sirianni's on the hot seat too. Like Doug Peterson could get axed today. Sirianni, it would take a lot for him to get axed today, but this has not been a good performance so far this season by the Eagles, Ramon.
No, and I'm not saying they have suffer from any complacency or anything like that. They've been having injuries, certainly. We're talking about their receivers being healthy finally here today. Does seem like a pretty big number. I know we're all down on Watson and he's the worst things, going right now or whatever, but it does seem like the Browns get the money in these situations sometimes. Not this season against the non-conference opponents. They played a heavy non-conference schedule so far, I believe, but nonetheless, I'm with them. I think there's a lot of points here in this game to be offering up to a Cleveland. Yeah, 1-4. I get that, but it does seem like Watson's a guy who kind of gets the money, not going to get a win here necessarily. Browns got their own set of problems. Luckily for the Eagles, they get what's supposed to be a gimme, the biggest spread of the day here at 8 points. But I couldn't lay points right now with the Eagles.
Hey, 2 things to let you guys know. Hit the like button. That would really help us. Just smash it. It takes you a 1/10 of a second. And check us out on YouTube, our YouTube channel for subscriptions. You're probably watching on YouTube right now, maybe on X. If you're on X, come on over to YouTube. Everybody subscribe to our channel. We're getting I think we're 14 away from 2,000 subscribers on YouTube. That'd be a nice milestone for us. Our YouTube channel really growing. So let's move on to some other line moves here. The Texans, 7-point favorites over the Patriots. That thing has dropped to 6.5. That thing has just been it's been stable, hasn't it? And I really didn't see much as far as the total goes. This morning, I saw it go from 37.5 to 38, and I am seeing some 38.5s and even a 39 on the offshores. No, Sugar House has it too. Total creeping up in this game. What does that tell you, Ramon?
Oh, hey, Holden, I mean, you invite me on here to give you the biggest steam movers. That's it. You just quoted it, brother. That to be,
well, you're supposed to talk about it.
No,
what do you got? It's a lot of steam.
No. The move came. No, in fact, I would. I'd do a disservice if I didn't say that the move actually started to come in here at 7:14 out here. I'm looking at the line moves from the service here. So 10:14 Eastern, 7:14 Pacific. So 2.5 hours ago, we started to see this line move higher. Maybe a little bit of weather related. It looks like it might be okay out. There was some talk about a little bit of weather there. So, but also, like you said, maybe a little bit with the Houston running game. Look, the other thing for New England with Drake May, I don't know if there's anybody buying into the improvement or anything what we'll see, but I don't know. Maybe it's time, obviously, for Drake May to get in there and see what he can do. It obviously wasn't working out too well anyways for this Patriots offense. Holden, I don't know what if you're looking at Drake May and what is it, 161.5? I don't know what it is now, but the Patriots are averaging like 110 yards passing. You tell me, but Drake May is going to go out there and throw for 165, 175 yards.
Yeah, he was at 159.5.
Oh,
got
God.
bet up,
Really?
but I think he could throw for 160. Yeah, I really do.
What did you say, Holden? You think he
I
will
really
be?
do think he could throw
Okay.
for 160
No, I
today.
hope he does,
Absolutely.
because that's what the Patriots look. I'm taking all these points today. I'm not making any bones about it, about all those special, the 5.5. I don't know. It's no secret, right? I mean, whatever it is now, 23-3 or whatever you want to say it is, it's just on fire. So I'm interested in taking all those points, and I'm interested in Drake May. I want to see him stand in there and do a better job, be better than Mac Jones, and be better.
Yeah.
Just looking back at a pocket style passer, obviously that's what we weren't getting so far with Brissett. But I want to see Drake May in there. I'm not bagging on. I don't know if I want to go over. I'm glad you are, because I'll just sweat it out with you, because I figure it's got to be better than the 111 or whatever Brissett was averaging.
Yeah, I think it was 159.5. So
Okay.
here's the next thing I'm looking at. I'm seeing some line movement in the total in the Washington Baltimore game from 51.5 this morning down to 51 and now 50.5. I'm a little surprised that this one's going down, because I feel like everybody is going to be on the over, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, no, I'm contrarian a little bit in this one. I might think about a grudge match here. I think there's a little bit of to this matchup, whether to call it a rivalry or not. I think
No.
everybody in the DMV is ready to roll with the Ravens and the Commanders here, no doubt, as a game that the whole community, the whole area is looking forward to, because of this Washington team just being so awesome right now. And Washington's poor defense, they're getting maybe maligned a little bit in the public. They've obviously done a pretty okay job considering this team's record right now, and we know the Ravens are going to be bringing it with their defense as well. I'm probably interested in his Isaiah Likely, though. Give me all the Likely props.
Yeah, I was going to pull the trigger on the Denver under today, the Denver Chargers under. I ultimately went with the Denver Broncos -3. Ked kind of made a good point. He's like, this total's so low that a defensive touchdown, the way the Broncos and the Chargers defense have been playing, maybe that's a little bit scary. The total went up. Yeah, go for it, Ramon.
No, I want to interrupt you. And you said, I don't know if you were quoting it wrong. I assume you were quoting it wrong, or are you taking the Broncos on an alternative line? You did say
no.
minus.
I just got him. I got him +3. I should
Okay,
say
no, okay.
+3 at
I
home.
don't know.
Yeah, I'll
like I
take
said,
the points.
I'm a Chargers fan, but I'm pretty, worried right now. Denver obviously doing a pretty good job. I think, if anything, they might still be written off a little bit by the public. Bo Picks, say what you will, as long as he can manage the team and stay away from those interceptions, he has a very good completion percentage here. I'm worried about the Chargers and that offense at this point. I'm not down on Herbert. The weaponry's not there. He's having to stand in the pocket longer, and he does not move out of the pocket. He gets hit, he gets knocked around, guy hits his legs. This is what keeps happening to him on that turned ankle right now. So yeah, I've got it an ugly one here, Holden. If this one isn't 20-17 or 19-17, that's right on that total though there. So that's what I'm kind of worried about. I gave out the under on my show today, but I'm going to be on the Broncos here against my Chargers. Look, they're hot right now. I told you last week, things don't happen in threes. Well, they just got that third, and now they got a division game at home against a team that they play pretty well against. My Chargers just quite aren't there yet. I'm with Harbaugh. I'm with the Chargers long term. They actually sold piece of the team this week, Holden. So things are looking up in Spanos land.
Yeah, DB Gnarly didn't see the Jags get smashed. He didn't miss much unless you're a Bears fan. But DB, I'll say this: maybe you're not supposed to watch your phone in church, but I know a lot of guys that do. I woke up this morning at 6, went down to watch my kids swim in a swim meet, watched them each swim. They got more, and then I rushed back up here. But I had my phone on the whole time. I didn't miss a play. Well, maybe I did, because she was just like 4 minutes worth of the game, and I don't think missing 4 minutes worth of that game was a big deal. Kirk has the Chargers -3 today. All right, Kirk, I hope you lose, just because I'm on the other side. I like you, though. And Chargers haven't won in Denver in a long
it's
time.
a problem for the Chargers. That has to be a part of the factor with that crowd. They're not fond of us, that's for sure. I'm on the Broncos.
DraftKings just moved the Steelers -3 to the Steelers -3.5. So a small move there, buddy. We got the total in the Panthers-Falcons game down from 46.5 to 46. Things have stayed kind of even there. Talk to me about those two games, and then I want to get into the Lions and the Cowboys.
Well, look, Atlanta's not anything special right now at this point, it feels like to me. And if you got Andy Dalton in here getting a touchdown in a division game, I certainly want to give another home dog a big long look here in this one. The move seems to be on the Falcons here this week, but they don't look to me like a touchdown better than even the worst team in the NFL on the road at this point. Holden, quite frankly, right now, I'd probably have to roll with a home dog today. And I'm sorry, what was
Don't worry about the other one because there wasn't a lot of line movement, but I do want to shout out to DB Gnarly for being a family man. That's nice, man. That's really nice. Thoughts on the Philly line from Kurt Gray? Did we talk about this game? Yeah, we talked about this game. Just go back real quick.
Move's been on the under big time this week. Yeah, big time move on the under here this week. It's almost getting into go the other way territory, though, for me, Holden. I actually went with the over in the game with that because that's just been a pretty big move down from maybe an opener of as high as 45 at circa down to 42 right now. So I'm probably willing to try the other way by now. And Joku's in, right? So
Joku's in. And again, the line went from 9.5 to 8. So monster movement there. Unless is it sitting at 8.5 again, Ramon, or is it sitting there
right now? 8.5 at circa, and also 9 minus 02 at Bet Online. So kind of looks like the Vegas books here 8.5, and DraftKings though you said was a little different. 8 minus 12. So the dog action there with the Browns. So it's going to be hard to find a lot of public support from the Browns. People may say a no bet, no bet situation on the game because of the Eagles, but I don't know if you're going to find a lot of support for these Browns, even at the big price. But like I said, I'm going to bundle all these big points up today.
Last one, Ramon, and I wonder about the Dallas Cowboys taking money as the game gets closer. This is a 425 game. Now you can get the Cowboys +3 or +3.5. The total's sitting at 52.5, up about a half a point, but it's vacillated between 52.5 and 52. Is there any theory here to betting if you're going to back the Lions, maybe wait a little bit and see if a lot of Cowboys money comes in, or is that just not a thing?
Feels like the public's taking the Lions, and I feel like the sharps are the ones trying to buy in on the Cowboys. That's where I want to be, right? I mean, we're not getting the Cowboys as a home dog very often. Even if this team is supposedly down, they're still 3-2 right now. Sure, are the Lions a Super Bowl contender? Yes, but the Dallas Cowboys got a lot of guys on some payroll. I'm not worried about how old Zeke is or where these, where they're going to get their third tertiary receivers or whatnot. I'm not sure. Yes, everyone's down on the situation with Dallas. We're all sky high on our favorite Applebee's server, Dan Campbell. He's Mr. Cover the Spread and whatnot. But I don't know. I'd rather take these more points at home. This one's got to be big. Dallas could go to 4-2. Imagine that. We're buried this team, and they're going to move. They could move to 4-2 if they could get a huge win here. Lions are awesome, no doubt, but their offense has it can look really good at home, but we'll see. I'm okay with everybody piling in. Looks like almost 3/4 of the public tickets are on the Lions here, and this certainly has resulted in a little bit of move to that favorite. So whether or not they're going to buy this hook, you'd think the sharps would be buying the hook all day long on one of the teams that they, quite frankly, they rarely get to bet on, the Dallas Cowboys in years past, looking for any value, right? Public team number one half the time. I got to be on Dallas.
Ramon, time to run upstairs and watch all these games. Where can they find your stuff, buddy?
Hey, I'm over right now at Sports Money Network, brand new growing channel right now, and so happy that all my team followed me over there. I was on a big channel, and I went to this little channel, and wow, amazing. All my friends followed me over there. We'll talk about rewarding, Holden. Sometimes we don't even do it for the money, it feels like, and just rewarding to have people that want to follow you, engage with you, and talk to you in the chat. So meet me over there every day, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific. The Morning Steam, you see it right there, is the name of the show. If you just type that into YouTube and maybe the word sports or money or Ramon, you'll find me. So we got a growing audience, and I'm there every day, 7 days a week right now, previewing the entire sports betting card for the day, and maybe a little bit of a Ramon content too, Holden. You know what I mean.
Hey, buddy, it's great having you on once again. One more time, smash the like button on the way out. That would be great. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. For Ramon, I'm Kush. Let's keep nuking the house.